you could max out one aspect of your drumming, which would you choose? Great touch on the kit, having great time feel, or an ungodly amount of chops that you could shoot out at light speed? Let's be honest, most of you guys would choose to have superior technical ability over any of those other lame-o options. And that is exactly why the berklee drummer archetype is on the rise, otherwise known as the chop demons. For those of you who are not in the know, this class of drummer is unable to play the same beat for more than 2 bars before spazzing out with a 47/16 rudiment. Due to the rise of this archetype, there are a lot less drummers out there who really care about playing within the pocket. Pocket is just some musical jargon for being able to play evenly within time. Even though it is unarguably the most important factor of being a drummer, nobody really cares about it anymore. To truly understand how we got to this predicament, you gotta go all the way back to the beginning, which is probably tribal drumming. This was when all we had was straight banging on whatever was closest to us. The main goal of drumming in this era was to help the tribe lock in with each other. In order to do so, they played a continuous rhythm that was simple and easy to dance and sing to. This served as entertainment and cultivated a deeper sense of community within the tribe. It's important to note that playing in time was the main focal point of the beginning of drumming. Let's fast forward a bunch to the swing era, because that's where my expertise lies. At this point, music had evolved past the means of just entertainment and building a deeper sense of community into the realm of art. The biggest difference between these two eras was that people were no longer playing the same continuous beat over and over again. Instead, there was a generic rhythmic pattern that didn't have to be so strictly followed. As long as you accented beats 2 and 4, everything else was pretty much fair game. This allowed for a ton more flexibility and improvisation within the confines of time. The result of this was a boom in the display of technical prowess on the instrument. Legends like Max Roach, Art Blakey, Philly Joe Jones, Jimmy Cobb, and many others paved the way for the next generation of technical excellence. Even still, the main importance remained the same, being able to play the beat in time. The hip-hop/R&B era of drumming is personally my favorite. This generation of drumming put the utmost importance on getting people moving and grooving on the dance floor. Technical ability was toned all the way down, not only to make the beats more danceable, but also to create room for the vocalist, whether they were singing or rapping. Drummers of this era embraced the simplicity and expressed their creativity through manipulating the pocket, placing the beats slightly ahead or behind to create what we know today as swing feel. The idea was first popularized by Jay Dilla, because instead of programming his drums to fit perfectly within time, he played them live, which added a human element to his beats. However, he still looped his drums, which meant his beats were inconsistently consistent. Real drummers began to copy the style of playing, and the term Dilla beat was coined. The challenge of playing this type of beat is playing it slightly out of time the same way. Here's an example of that.
You could turn into
the math rock era is where we start moving into crazy town territory. Heads up, I don't listen or really play too much of this music, so whatever I say is my opinion. Please keep that in mind. In my opinion, math rock is where drummers began to overvalue chops over playing in the pocket. Odd time signatures and metric modulations kind of sum up this genre of music. Chops became the focal point because you needed them if you wanted to play these insanely complex grooves where you went from 13/8 to 46/11 in a span of 11 bars. Being able to play the same old boring beat was old news. If you weren't computing a matrix in order to play the groove, then get away from me, you peasant. This brings us to the modern day of drumming, where chops have become the main focus. Yes, there are a few drummers out there who care about the fundamentals and having a good time feel, but the vast majority of these guys just want to play at light speeds. The big reason why a lot of drummers nowadays don't know how to play quietly or in time, because when your sole focus is on playing super fast, you become short-sighted to your other skill sets. I wonder if the injury rate has also gotten higher since back then, because if you force your body to play at higher speeds with improper technique, you're just bound to get arthritis or carpal tunnel. Quick side note, I feel like there's a connection between our attention spans getting fried by short-form content and drummers nowadays being unable to play the same beat for more than 2 bars. I don't know, maybe we've all been affected by the ADHD somehow. What's so funny to me is what all these drummers really want can be achieved so much faster and efficiently by focusing on the fundamentals. I'm starting to sound like an old head talking about basketball, but it's the truth. If you hone in on your technique and practice without tension, really focusing on having complete control over the kit, the chops will come super easily. So here's my quick drummer PSA. Learn how to play quieter, please. Learn how to play in time. Then please do not chop stim mid-song when it's not your turn to solo. Well, that's all I gotta say on the matter. If you're a drummer, please let me know what you think in the comments below, if you agree or disagree with me. And if you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.